New Thought Media Network proudly presents the Global Heart of Peace's Peace Party. Celebrate the many paths to peace. Explore an exciting life of peace. Embody joyous peace. Come to our weekly Peace Party, Mondays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. www.ntmedia.org.
And welcome to the Peace Party, brought to you by the Global Heart of Peace Initiative. My name is Reverend Kit Holmes. I am really grateful to be here with you all today. And why am I passionate about peace? Why am I a part of the Peace Party? Well, I think that the peace that comes from within makes the peace happen without in the bigger world. So, we are here to celebrate the many aspects of peace and explore how exciting a life full of peace and joy can be. And I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about it through music. I am a lifelong musician and songwriter, New Thought songwriter. Been doing this for a couple of decades around the country. And I'm so grateful I get to share this with you today because something that I was writing about journaling in my practice this morning was about the power of music. And in my meditation this morning, a piece of music that I hadn't listened to in quite some time, it came and kind of tapped on my shoulder, tapped on my ear and said, bring this up again. And the experience was so amazing because when I plugged that thing in, and it's been months since I've listened to it, and it's one of my favorite pieces of music, the power of the memories, the feelings that came along with it, there was joy, there was gratitude, there was so much gratitude, there was grief, because that particular piece of music sparked something in me from a time from several years ago that was very sweet and tender. And because I'm not there anymore, it just reminded me, and it was such a flood of things. And so the thing that I know for myself is, while I'm a musician and I'm a composer and I'm a singer and all of these as well, it's music that helps me in meditation. That's just how my brain is wired. That's how it works. The importance of peace for me is having grown up in not quite such a peaceful environment. And like many of us, everybody's got stuff. Everybody's got stuff from their childhood. Everybody has some traumatic, some more, some less, some really just excruciatingly painful experiences throughout life. And when we move into coping mechanisms as kids, we figure out how to figure out life. We figure out how to do things. And a lot of times those are just coping mechanisms and they're survival skills. So we might not be aware that there's another way to live other than being in constant, adrenaline rush and having our nervous systems jacked up. And we're living in a time right now, as we all know, where just from the media exposure that we have, the technology and the things, the amount of information that we are bombarded with on a day-to-day basis, our nervous systems have not adapted yet. We are not built to be under that kind of stress day in and day out. And I'm older, and we have generations behind me now that is, quote unquote, their normal to be that stimulated and have their nervous systems just jacked up all the time. But what we're seeing, of course, is this massive withdrawal, this pulling away from, rather than connecting with, its being on our phones, being on our screens, whatever that screen looks like. And even, we've all seen it in a restaurant where there's not conversation happening, they're texting each other instead of having real human face, sitting right in front of you, having this contact. So for me, that is not peaceful at all. It's just it's another layer of a coping mechanism, of a survival skill. So my work, my practice has been, as long as I've been in New Thought, which has been for over 25 years, is finding that place of peace within. And for me, that has been music. And some of my most peaceful, most expansive moments in meditation have been when I'm not thinking about, I'm just playing. I'm playing the keyboard, I'm playing a guitar, I'm playing something. So I'm engaged with it. I'm engaged with spirit moving through me, but I'm also disconnected. I'm not like, oh, I need to write this down. It's sometimes just playing will calm my nervous system and bring me to that deep, deep sense of peace. And that deep sense of gratitude then flows up from that. And yes, there are times when I'm noodling, when I'm like, oh, wow, I wish I was recording that, because in my mind, that was really cool. It sounded great, right? I'm learning some technologies that I can do that, where I don't have to, where I can let that stuff flow through me. And when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, wow, that brings me peace. It brings me peace to hear that. So the short version of this for the peace party today is, I'm sure that you have a piece of music, and I invite you, if you don't, to explore different New Thought musicians, explore things like the Music on Insight timer. Of course, there are countless music videos on YouTube, meditation, to just allow yourself to just settle and find that one piece. Or if I mention it to you, you might be able to bring it to mind, something that grabbed you in the heart. Maybe it was a week ago, maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was decades ago. But that piece of music, that it did something to you. It brought you to a place of going, oh, wow. And I invite you to find that. Easier now to find it online than it used to be. You had to go find the album or the CD, or yes, the cassette tape. But just give yourself a moment or two to think about that, and think about that, what that song was and what it meant. Like the experience I said that I had this morning in my journaling it was so incredibly powerful. And we know the power of music to excite us, to, when we got a good Tears in Your Beer song, with a broken heart, we know how good the hurt feels, right? The power of music in community, singing together, singing songs of peace, singing songs of resistance, singing songs of celebration, dancing and screaming, singing at the top of our lungs. There is something that happens, of course, in that. We know the collective energy, whether we're meditating together, praying together, doing yoga together, going to a baseball game together. There's something that happens in community when we share. We have a shared vision, a shared goal. And that goal can be peace. And we know from within, it's got to start from within. It's got to start in our own consciousness. We can go to community and we could share in that experience, but we have to make the decision to do that, to take that action, to say, I want to be engaged. We're coming up on this beautiful season of light with the solstice and the Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all of these celebrations that utilize light. So that's my invitation to you this time around. There is something peaceful that we know when there is heart-opening music with maybe just the light of one candle, or the light of many candles, or maybe just the light from the stars, or the moon, or the sun. So I'm going to leave you with a new song of mine, and it is based on the Prayer for Protection by James Dillett Freeman. And it's also meshed with Peace, Be Still, and Know. So it is called Peace, Peace. And here we go. Peace, 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 be still. Peace, be still, be still and know the light of God surrounds us everywhere we go. So peace, be still and know. Peace, 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 be still. Peace, be still, be still and know the love of God enfolds us everywhere we go. So peace, be still and know the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us wherever we go. The presence of God watches over us, no matter where we go. So peace, be still and know the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and all is well. The presence of God watches over us, no matter where we go. So peace, be still and know. So peace, be still and know. Thank you all so much for joining us today as we explored a unique aspect of peace, and hopefully I've introduced you to a new way of looking at it. Please join us again next week, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, for a new guest topic for the next episode of the Peace Party. May you dance in the joy of a peace-filled life. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.